Every year, politicians in the US raise billions of dollars to win elections. But did you know that just 1% of Americans control 40% of all political donations? This means that the richest people hold most of the power in shaping the laws that affect us all. In 2018, 5 families alone donated over 40% of all Super PAC money. That's right, just 5 families. Their influence is so big that many of the laws passed protect their wealth, while leaving everyone else to struggle. But it's not just about elections. Did you know that 55 major US corporations paid no federal taxes in 2020, despite earning billions? The same system that rewards the rich is also the one that keeps them in control. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this is the reality of how political systems work. In this video, we'll uncover how the rich use politics to stay on top. We'll show you the shocking strategies behind their control, strategies that keep the rest of us at a disadvantage. From lobbying and campaign money to laws that favor the wealthy, the truth might surprise you. Stick around, and you'll see why political systems almost always favor the rich. Chapter 1: The Money-Driven Engine. How politics is powered by wealth. Politics, at its core, isn't just about laws and policies, it's about money. The connection between politics and wealth is deep and undeniable. Political campaigns in the US alone spend billions of dollars every election cycle. In 2020, political spending reached $14 billion, a staggering amount. The wealthy fund these campaigns, and in return, they expect a return on investment. Think of it as an unspoken contract: you get my vote, and I'll get favorable policies. It's no secret that politicians need money to win. The more money they raise, the better their chances. The average cost of a US Senate race is about $15 million, and those who donate large sums expect something in return. The money pours in, and the system works to keep the rich in power. This creates a feedback loop. Those who fund political campaigns often write the policies that protect their wealth. But it's not just about direct donations. Super PACs, political action committees, are another tool for the rich to influence elections. They can spend unlimited amounts, and they often serve as a way to bypass laws limiting donations. In fact, just 5 families donated 40% of all Super PAC money in 2018. The influence of money isn't just in elections. It continues in the form of laws that benefit the rich, from tax cuts to loopholes. One of the most glaring examples is the 2017 tax reform in the US, which overwhelmingly benefited the wealthy. Lower-income families received just a small fraction of the tax cuts compared to the richest 1%. So, when the rich pump money into politics, they're not just buying votes, they're buying influence. Chapter 2: The Invisible Hand of Influence. Lobbyists and the rich. Lobbying is a well-oiled machine that helps the rich keep the power they've amassed. In Washington, D.C., there are more than 12,000 registered lobbyists, and they spend over $3 billion each year to shape legislation. The influence of these lobbyists often outweighs the needs of the general public. For example, pharmaceutical companies spend millions to ensure that drug prices remain high and that regulations don't affect their profits. The real kicker? Lobbyists often write the bills themselves. A study by the Center for Responsive Politics revealed that 70% of the bills introduced by Congress were drafted with the help of lobbyists. This means the very laws meant to protect the public are shaped by those who have the most money. But the influence doesn't stop at the national level. In local politics, lobbying plays a huge role in shaping policies that benefit corporations and the wealthy. For instance, tax incentives for big businesses are often lobbied for, with promises of job creation that rarely come to fruition. Lobbyists, armed with deep pockets, ensure the policies that favor the rich are embedded into the political fabric. It's not just about what's being lobbied for, but how often these lobbyists have access to lawmakers. The average member of Congress meets with lobbyists more than they meet with their own constituents. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more insights on how the system works to favor the rich. Chapter 3: Capitalism's Quiet Alliance. The symbiotic relationship between corporations and government. In the US and many other countries, corporations have a cozy relationship with the government. The result? Laws that ensure corporations continue to thrive, sometimes at the expense of the common good. Major corporations like Amazon, Apple, and Google have armies of lobbyists and lawyers ensuring their interests are always represented. Tax breaks and deregulation are just a few ways they benefit. In fact, the 2017 tax cut lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%, which saved companies billions of dollars. While these corporations claim to reinvest in job creation, many have used their newfound wealth to buy back stock, benefiting wealthy shareholders instead. The issue doesn't stop at tax cuts. Large corporations use their political influence to avoid paying taxes altogether. In 2020, 55 large corporations in the US paid no federal taxes despite earning billions in profits. This loophole is the result of years of lobbying and government relationships that allow the rich to keep more of their money. Even when these companies benefit from government contracts, they often pay employees so little that they end up relying on government aid themselves. The system works for the wealthy elite while leaving the middle class and poor to shoulder the burden. Want to dive deeper into these topics? Be sure to subscribe for more eye-opening content. Chapter 4: Crisis or Opportunity. How the rich profit from political instability. Political instability is often seen as a time of crisis, but for the wealthy, it can be a golden opportunity. Take the 2008 financial crisis, for example. While millions lost their homes and jobs, the rich managed to not only protect their wealth but expand it. Large corporations and billionaires took advantage of the chaos to buy distressed assets at bargain prices. According to a report from the Institute for Policy Studies, the 400 wealthiest Americans saw their wealth grow by $1.2 trillion between 2009 and 2019, all while the average American's income stagnated. This pattern is nothing new. Throughout history, the rich have profited from wars, economic crashes, and even natural disasters. After Hurricane Katrina, large real estate developers bought up flooded properties at a fraction of their value. The rich often see instability as a chance to expand their power, using their financial resources to acquire assets and businesses that become more valuable once the dust settles. Political instability may hurt the middle and lower classes, but it can be a lucrative period for the wealthiest. Chapter 5: The Myth of Equal Opportunity. How the rich control the game. One of the greatest myths perpetuated in many societies is that anyone can succeed if they work hard enough. But the truth is far more complicated. The political system is rigged in favor of the rich, making it harder for those without wealth to break through. Education, for example, is a critical part of success in many societies. Yet, the rich have access to better education, more resources, and networks that ensure their children are set up for success from the start. A 2020 report from the Economic Policy Institute found that children from wealthy families are more likely to attend top universities and, in turn, land higher-paying jobs. Beyond education, the political system itself is designed to benefit those with wealth. The rich can afford the best lawyers and lobbyists, while those without resources are left with public defenders and little political leverage. The system's inequality is built into its structure, from tax laws to access to healthcare and housing. In reality, the American dream is often just that, a dream, especially for those who don't have the wealth to make it a reality. Chapter 6: From Wealth to Power. The long-term strategy of elite political families. Political power isn't just about winning elections, it's about building a dynasty. Elite families with wealth often pass down their political influence from one generation to the next, ensuring that their interests remain at the top. Take the Kennedys, the Bushes, or the Roosevelts, families that have maintained political control for decades. Their wealth and connections provide an endless pipeline of political power, creating a cycle that benefits them over and over again. The strategy goes beyond just running for office. It's about positioning family members in key roles and building networks that can influence decisions from behind the scenes. These families often have ties to powerful corporations, banks, and other wealthy individuals, cementing their status in the political landscape. In fact, a study by the Brookings Institution showed that political dynasties are more likely to be born from wealth, with wealthy families having a significantly higher chance of passing on both their wealth and their political influence. The rich understand the value of long-term planning, and they've figured out how to control political systems for generations. While ordinary citizens are focused on short-term issues like the next election, the wealthy are thinking decades ahead, ensuring that their power is never challenged. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on how political systems favor the rich and what it means for the rest of us.